Hi everybody, and welcome back to the VGC Casters Cup Season 2. Can't wait. After what was a really wild ride last season, I'm really excited to get into Season 2. Here, of course, in the Regulation Set F. I am, of course, representing the Winchester Murkrows once again. After, in Season 1, as you can see, reaching second place. So, getting really close, just losing out to Ben Kiriakou in the Sinister Stabilized. What a wild ride it was with the Torkold Brick Room team. And if you want to go back and watch those matches, some of those were completely fire. Now, looking into this season though, we've got some slightly different teams this time around, but most of us are all the same. Right behind me at the moment, good point, of course. But we've got a few new faces. So, we've got 14 casters, and we're split into 2 divisions. With the Regulation Set F format, and we draft 12 Pokemon from pre-sorted tiers. So there are S tier Pokemon, which are considered just really good in the format at the moment. We can have one of those guaranteed. But with a pool of 130 points, we can spend on the remaining 3 slots that you can see there. So if we want another S tier pick, we have to spend 60 points, but there's 130 points to spend, which is great. But you have to fill out all 4 of those free slots. So, because otherwise you could say take 2 more S tier picks, didn't you? And then 1 E tier pick, and then you would only have a roster of 11. No, you have to have all 12, and that makes things quite interesting because you don't have too many overpowered Pokemon. You have to actually focus more on the middle tiers, which makes things really interesting, in my opinion. So you'll see how I've been able to kind of cover through those, and obviously if you watch some of the other coaches, you'll be able to see this as well. So the format is best of 3, closed team sheets with open Terra types, because often those can be a little bit surprising if you don't know exactly what's coming for you. Now, every caster plays each other within their division over the 7 weeks as well. So there's 7 in each division, so you'll each play each other once, and that ends up working that one of the weeks we have off, basically. And so the top 4 of each of those divisions of 7 play in the single elimination top 8. Now, onto the draft. So this is where things already get slightly interesting. So it goes into a snake draft order where all of the 14 casters start picking, where first person picks the first one, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, etc. So we've all gone through that process to come to our teams. Now, after that's finished, and everyone's got all their teams, there's a 24-hour period where you can make as any trades with the remaining Pokemon that's left in the pool as you like. To kind of, if you've been sniped, and you had a little bit of a plan going, you can kind of change things and adjust stuff. So most people have changed their team, maybe 1 Pokemon. Most of us actually kept the exact same team that we were happy with. So this was my team. And now I'm only showing you just in this kind of thought bubble because it was very temporary. Because I just felt that looking at everyone's finished teams and my finished team, it wasn't as strong as it could be. And what was quite interesting when I looked at the rest of the draft is that no one had picked up anything to do with rain. I thought, well, for fun, let's just have a look at the pool and just see if I could make that. And basically, I changed my entire team. 3 of those Pokemon are the same, but everything else is different. So let's show you what actually my draft ended up being. First of all, Thunderous Incarnate. So this I'm really excited to be bringing because I looked at it at the very start actually and thought this could be a very good S tier pick. It can run so many different sets, and that's exactly what you want in Draft League, right? You don't want to your opponent going in going, oh, that's that Pokemon, that does that, let's prep for it. Thunderous can do lots of different things. Prankster, but it also can go Defiant, and you can go Special, you can go Physical, you can go Supportive, Offensive, Setup, it can do everything. So, and as I've already mentioned, or alluded to, it is a rain team, so Thunderous can really thrive in that environment. And And of course, it's not a rain team without rain. So Politoed is here as well to back that up. And also great in draft too. I did think about Pelipper as well, but I think Politoed offers a few different modes, a little bit of bulk as well, whereas Pelipper kind of maybe more relies on Focus Sash, for instance. And as you can see from my third pick, it's Gothitelle. So already we've got a Perish Trap core going on, which I'm quite excited to be able to bring here as well. So you can see on the right-hand table, the slots that are starting to be filled up here. So I've got the S, got the A, got my first B, for instance. And we're now going to reveal the second B that's going to come in. Krookodile. Really excited to have this Pokemon on here. And if you remember from my little dream that I had earlier, a few slides earlier, that Krookodile was actually on that original team. I think it was my third or maybe fourth pick I actually made on that original team. And that has stayed here. Because a lot of people were telling me they really wanted Krookodile, and I was already fearing a lot of the matchups prior to making this drastic change to my draft, and Krookodile just seemed really good into a lot of them. So Ground and Dark being really crucial types, really good. Intimidate being just generally really useful. It was just a great pick, and also kind of combined well with what I already had. Next we have Berserker in C tier here. So offering a little bit of fake out support, a little bit of steel typing, so kind of benefits from the rain as well. And just generally quite good offense here. Got a few special attackers already, another physical attacker, kind of slotted on right nicely. And next up is Ludicolo. So I need something to kind of start use of the rain, really. And a third fake out Pokemon. Obviously Gothitelle gets it too. And can offer Swift Swim, lots of decent coverage as well. Grass typing is really nice here too, because otherwise opposing water types can shrug off a lot of my attacks generally. Obviously, Thunderous hits those pretty hard too, but having the grass typing, in just case it's Lightning Rod support, is very nice. And having the fastest fake out is also really nice too. So Ludicolo is obviously not very fast, but in the rain suddenly, you've got a really fast fake out that outspeeds, the fastest fake out user in the format, which is Weavile. So once in a certain environment, Ludicolo does the business. D tier, Dreadnought. So another Pokemon, my third water type, that is going to make use of the rain. Powering up those water moves, and of course doubling the speed with Swift Swim. It's a bit of a setup Pokemon as well, known for using Shell Smash. And I've got a few ways to support it too, so I really liked it here. And Rock is not the best defensively, but offensively, very good, and Dreadnought makes great use of that. E tier pick, everyone has to have an E tier, and Haunter was there still. So this was one of the Pokemon that was actually still on my original draft team as well, because it offered a lot of poison coverage and combined well with Krookodile, like Earthquake next to it, for instance. And it's got a really good offensive stat. You can see 115 is really good. So if I need that offensive coverage, it's there it is. So I'm not going to be bringing it to every game, honestly, but it's definitely there, and an offensive threat that my opponents definitely have to respect. So going into the free tier picks now, where I have to spend those points. So here I thought Baxcalibur looked really good, because overall defensively, like Grass looked kind of good versus me, so I wanted something that could really punish that. So Baxcalibur being an A tier pick, I thought was really good here. So this cost me 50 points. It was S tier actually in Season 1, so quite happy to see it slightly cheaper here in Regulation Set F, which makes a lot of sense here too. So yeah, really nice typing, really great offenses, appreciates the rain a little bit too, and yeah, definitely punishes grass types. And then another A tier pick I thought I'd make here is Clefable. So I need a little bit of redirection, and I think Clefable made a lot of sense for that too. No fairy type yet either, and of course does a lot of stuff as well. Doesn't have to be Follow Me either. It can be setup of its own. It gets a lot of different coverage moves. Unaware is good, Magic Guard is good. Stats, not so good, but it is A tier for a reason. And so there's a lot of ways I think Clefable could be used throughout my draft. Now, 250 points have been spent on my 100 points, so that only leaves 30 points left, which means it has to be a D tier and an E tier pick, my last. So, my second D tier pick is Frostlass, the third and final Pokemon that was on my original draft. So, having that like offensive, like ice and ghost coverage is really nice. Just a naturally ghost type, having there to be immune to fake out is really good. Good speed tier, loads of supportive moves as well. So I'm looking forward to trying to use this a little bit too. Overlaps a bit with Haunter, but I still really like it here as a supporter that kind of gels well with everything else I've got. Appreciates the rain and solid ice coverage on the special side versus Bascalibur's physical side. Complements well. And finally, for the last E tier is Pyroar. I did about picking a fire type here, seeing as it was very much a dedicated rain team, as you can see, but I still think it would be useful here. Even just defensively, for instance, because Pyro has a decent amount of supportive options, and I thought I could maybe just go on the offense occasionally here with a bit of fire type moves, especially if my opponent tries to change the weather, for instance. It could maybe work here too. Decent speed tier. I can't even see me using it like at all, but it was a potential Pokemon that I could maybe use. So here is Pyro as my last. So looking at the whole board, what do we have on this team? We've got Weather, obviously, in the rain. We've got a bit of Prankster, which is nice to have on any team. We've got a bit of Trick Room and Gothitelle and Haunter. We've got Redirection in that Clefable. We've got Fake Out 3 times over, which is really nice. We've got Intimidate from Crocodile. We've got some setup in multiple Pokemon there. And of course, we've got the trapping aspect, which not many teams are going to have. So it's looking like a really nicely rounded out team, and I hope I don't regret the decisions I've made. So here's a sneak peek at our week 1 match versus Sierra Dawn. I'll be going over this in much more detail next week when I've actually had a good think about this matchup and I've actually even approached this. But Golden Go, Ogre's Pong, that's the 2 S tiers picks there, and Sand, Trick Room, Last Respects, Corviknight. It's pretty scary. So we'll see how we go for that. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, really helps the channel out. And I will see you for week 1 of the VGC Casters Cup Season 2 real soon.